true hero in this story, and I wanted to say this before she left, is Dr. Jean, who's over here to the right, because we don't have enough people in our society that advocate for kids. And if she hadn't stepped up and advocated for him and just looked at him and let him walk out of her doctor's office and say, he's just another overweight kid, and just let him walk out the door, he may not be standing here right now. And I just wanted to recognize her because in my heart, she's the true hero of his story. If she didn't advocate, if she didn't step up and say something, we wouldn't be sitting here having this celebration. So thank you to Dr. Jean. That's all it is.
Thank you for having me. I guess now I'm here. All right. So I remember meeting Larry very well because he is the same birth year as my oldest son, Aaron, here. So in all the times that I met him, I kept thinking, how can I get him to come over to our house? Because I just wanted to create family for him and like the feeling of just being with kids and hanging out. I remember him sharing that he loved Legos, so I kept thinking, maybe I need to email the guy that owns that Belair Plastic Brick Museum. Maybe they can get Larry to like volunteer there. So I was working on all these different ideas. I even reached out to my pastor, so we go to C3 Church in Wheeling. Pastor Tim, I said, do we have members that are Belair? I just want him to come to our church so we can love on him. And when that time came, when Brenda was asking me, what else can we do? What else can we do? And usually, interestingly, I work with a lot of the diabetics with type 1 diabetes in Wheeling. So I'm often writing a lot of papers and documents because I need to get these kids to fight for what they need in their schools. So for Larry, it was different because it's, I knew he needed all those things, but probably there was no official document that I could create. So in my mind, I just kind of thought, okay, what would be the ideal for him? So this document really was, it did just come from my heart. It was more me being like, I was envisioning my son Aaron, and I was thinking, how could I, make this kid's life better? What is the ideal situation? So I know I wrote a lot of things there that people, whoever wrote it, they must have laughed, like, what is this doctor thinking? It's not a prescription. But it was things like, well, he needs someone to walk with him. He needs someone to play with him. He needs someone to take him to church. So the fact that it grew to how it's become, can I tell you, it literally is God's hand in his life because I could never have envisioned this. I prayed for this boy ever since meeting him, but I would have never thought like how God works mysteriously and amazingly. Like on November 17th, I bet your heart was just like so filled with love that day.
Yep, it was.
And it's so exciting. I look at him and I just think this is amazing. This is what drives us to do what we do. Working in a hospital is not always fun. But for me, that's why I love pediatrics. And I don't know if many of you are from Belair. My father was Dr. C.K. Jean. So he also served 48 years in Belair, Ohio at the Belair Clinic. So he equally has many, many stories. My dad's 84 now, and he remembers so many stories of families in Belair. So he thinks it's so cool that I also got to be involved in Larry's life as well. So I'm equally grateful to be part of your blessing. Thank you.
Now, I recognize a few others that are here. I don't, are the Kernicks still here? Or is the Kernicks? Peace out. The people at the elementary school, Mrs. Dunlap, Miss Anna, Miss Joanne, all of them that were at the elementary school because they were with him. I mean, we've gotten to kind of experience the fun part, the kind of the victory lap. I've said to a couple people, we kind of, Amanda and I get to take the victory lap with them. But the people at the elementary school, like Miss Anna and Miss Joanne and Miss Brenda, Miss Dunlap, who, when there didn't seem like there was a lot of hope, when it was, when Mr. Kernick, who, Josh, who was here, walking him at the elementary school, walking with him every day and walking with him and trying to get him to eat healthy at school, but not seeing results and not knowing what the end story was going to be and seeing him, walking with him, and then 2 months later he's gained 10 pounds and then we're like, what's going on? And like, just being on the battle lines with this kid during elementary school when it didn't look like something like this was possible, but they just kept at it. I know Miss Anna's here. She's been absolutely the biggest blessing since he has been with us. We've leaned on her like nobody else. Anybody else, I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. But especially those people at the elementary school, they've been unbelievable since he was in preschool. Unbelievable. if anybody else wants to say anything, you can come up and share. Or...
Anybody?